From architecture to painting and sculpture, literature to live music and theater. Radio 111 presents Bonnie G and Brian Mendoza with The Desert Scene, your connection to culture and entertainment in the desert cities. Here's Bonnie and Brian.
And welcome to The Desert Scene. I'm here with Brian Mendoza, my fabulous producer, board op, man of all trades. And we're really excited to welcome to the show today James Beauton, who is the youth music director and conductor for the Coachella Valley Symphony. Hi, James. How are you?
Hi, Bonnie. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. So you got a couple of things going on with the symphony. I'd like to start talking first about some recent scholarships with the Buddy Rogers Youth Symphony. So apparently you had some really talented young people that got some scholarships. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, of course. This is something that we're always very excited to be able to put on every year. What we were able to award 7 scholarships for our youth this year. And what that entails is it's an award that goes to private lessons. So the students they apply, they write essays, they get letters of recommendations from teachers or other family members or community members, and they go through this full application process. And we were able to select 7 this year that are able now. They have private lessons funded for them for the coming months, and we even help them find a teacher if they don't already have one. So that's very exciting because that's exactly what you need with youth musicians is hands-on teaching, hands-on experience like that. So it's very exciting to be supporting it this way.
What now? Is there a certain number that you plan to award each year, or does it depend? If you have more outstanding students one year than another, do you award more scholarships?
Yeah, it really just depends. This year we were just excited to get as many as we did because as so many music education programs are facing right now, coming out of the pandemic, we are still everyone was hit, of course, with enrollment numbers and the ability to take music over Zoom just didn't really do anyone a good service. So we're happy to see so many people coming back and taking advantage of these opportunities. And so this is a high number this year was a high number.
What's the what makes one student stand out over another? Now, do you also, so they write an essay, but do you also go hear them live, or do they submit a video, or do you hear their musical talent as well?
Well, one of the stipulations for the scholarship is that they have to play in the Buddy Rogers ensemble. Okay. So we have already, my colleague and I, Dr. Jason Powell, we hear them every week already. Okay. And it's honestly, this is more of everyone's so talented, of course, but it's more of if you're willing to do the work, you get an opportunity, right? And that's what we want to support. So the things that we look for are the attitude, in the students, like the willingness to learn, their openness to putting in the work that comes with learning music. And
I noticed, I'm looking at the list of names. Are these twins, Bella and Emma? Okay. Yeah. Yes, Delgadillo, 10 years old, 1 cello, 1 violin. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty great. It's a joy having them in rehearsal every week.
And now the scholarships and the lessons, is that designated for a year, or how long does that go on?
Well, the scholarship award is $500. So that it goes as far as that goes with the teacher. So it really just depends. I think the typical rate in town is around $50 an hour. If not a little bit higher now, but that gives it, I don't know. It depends on how many. You can do twice a week lessons if you want to. It's totally up to the recipient how they want to do it. So you can stretch it as far as you want. And
the teachers, how do the teachers get in the loop as far as being teachers that are part of the scholarship program?
Well, if the student already has a teacher, then that's easy because it's already taken care of. But we also help solicit or find teachers for students if they need them. And the nice thing is because we are connected so strongly with the Coachella Valley Symphony, the parent organization, there are fantastic music teachers that play in the adult orchestra. So our concertmaster, Cindy Brogan, for example, is probably the primary violin teacher that we send folks to. And then we also have Joshua Whitty, who graduated from the Bryce music program and now plays in the cello section. He does a lot of teaching in town as well. He's actually an advanced high school student, but he is playing far above that level and is actually quite quite the teacher as well. He sometimes shadows us, Dr. Paul and I, and helps out with Bryce these days just for volunteer work.
Yeah. And the Buddy Rogers Youth Symphony, tell us just a little bit about that in general. How often do you guys perform, and how long have they been around, et cetera?
Yeah, well, they've been around, and again, this is actually, we are concluding my actual first full season, because I started right before, like in 2019, before the pandemic really kind of hit. So even though I've been with the organization for many years now, it's really only the first time I'm finishing a full season with them. So the Buddy Rogers, don't quote me here, I think it's mid-90s is when the ensemble started, through a generous donation and sort of like starting with Buddy Rogers himself. But right now the orchestra rehearses weekly. We rehearse Monday at 5 o'clock, from 5 to 6:15, just before the adult orchestra rehearses, which I like, because then everybody gets to meet the orchestra members that come in early for the adult orchestra. They see the kids working, and then it's this sort of thing. And as I said, we are still coming back from having the pandemic kind of take us out a bit. So we don't have any performances scheduled until next season, but that's because we're coming back strong and making sure that the whole orchestra is ready for that.
Right.
So we do like little community performances at the ends of our rehearsals and things for the parents. But right now it's just we're really just making sure that our students are prepared.
Yeah.
Our youth are prepared to keep making music in the long term.
Okay, super. Well, let's switch gears and talk a little bit about Coachella Valley Symphony is performing with two-time Grammy Award winner Diane Schuur on Sunday, May 1st, 3 p.m. at the Annenberg. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that's exciting. I've actually never met Diane. Again, this was supposed to be my first Diane Schuur concert like 2 years ago. But I'm really excited for that opportunity to play, because we're going to have a whole saxophone section, and Andy Fraga is going to play drums.
Oh, great. He's fabulous.
Yeah. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be like a jazz show with a live orchestra. It's going to be an amazing production. So I'm super excited for that. And right now my roles with that orchestra, or with the adult orchestra at this point on concert day, there are a lot of other associate conductor responsibilities, but I'm just playing in the section and kind of making sure that we're all having a good time. So that's been a lot of fun. And it's great music. Yeah.
And now, so does the symphony every year? How often does the symphony play with a more jazz/pop well-known performer?
This is the annual Diane Schuur concert, as far as they do it once a year. Typically, the 3 other concerts that are on the books. This year was a little weird because we did the Halloween Spooktacular outside, which was a big success. Lots of fun, and we did music that was more Halloween themed. But typically, there's a stage and screen show. There's our concerto competition show, where our youth, part of Buddy Rogers as well, is we have a youth music competition where the winners get to play a concerto with the orchestra. And then there's another concert that's a little bit more classical based. But honestly, I think the way that our maestro John Mario runs everything and does everything, it doesn't feel like they never feel like classical music concerts. As the typical assumptions would be. It's always a good time, and everybody always has a laugh and a great time. So we do one big jazz show
every year. Yeah. All right. So this is called it's a season finale. It's a Schuur, SCHUUR thing with Diane Schuur, Sunday, May 1st, 3 p.m. at the Annenberg Theater in Palm Springs. Tickets are $45, $75, and $95, and you can get them. You can go to www.cvssymphony.com or call or visit the Annenberg Theater. That number is 760-325 4490, 760-325-4490. And I just want to read this. I think this is important. The mission of the Coachella Valley Symphony is to perpetuate live symphony music and to provide public performance venues for both accomplished youth and adult musicians, to provide symphonic music education to young emerging musicians, and to support diversity among individuals and within music presentations, which is fabulous. And you said you've been with the conductor with the youth symphony for just a few years now?
Yes, I took them through. I joined right in the fall of 2019 mainly as associate conductor, or on a probationary period, like I was auditioning to be the way Maestro does it. I was getting to know everyone, and then there was this. They needed someone, and I stepped in and I said, "Yeah, I can do this." And then through the pandemic, I led everything virtually.
Yeah. And tell us just briefly about you. Where are you from originally? How did you start playing music as a little kid?
Oh, yeah, that's that whole story. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I grew up there. I started playing piano when I was very young, when I was 6, as many of us do. I have my degrees are in percussion performance. So when I play with the orchestra, I play in the percussion section. But nowadays, I mostly play piano and do steady scores and all that sort of conductory sort of thing. But I went to Michigan State University, my undergrad, Stony Brook University, for my master's, studied really weird music, and studied even weirder music at UC San Diego with a famous percussionist, Stephen Schick. I graduated in 2020, actually, so there was those 5 years there. So I've been doing that, and then I kind of fell into conducting as like hey, we need someone to do this. This is before I was involved with this organization, and I just kind of got up there on the podium and fell in love with it, and it fit because I was always set to be a timpanist in life, and timpanists always they have to have an intimate knowledge of the score because that's where they get their notes, right? Because we have to tune our different notes, and the basses have a beat, so I can tune with them, and then the conductor or the timpanist is kind of like when there's moments when you play, you're part of the scene with the conductor. You guys have to be locked in. So it's like I've been watching conductors my entire life, listening to orchestral music my entire life. So getting on the podium and teaching my entire life. So getting on the podium kind of was like a nice,
real natural thing.
Natural thing.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to the scholarship recipients of the Buddy Rogers Youth Symphony recent scholarships. And we're really excited about this upcoming Diane Schuur concert. Again, Sunday, May 1st, 3 p.m. at the Annenberg. You can call 760-325-4490 or go to www.cvssymphony.com. Thank you so much, James Beauton, Youth Music Director and Conductor. Thanks for being here today. Really, really appreciate it.
No, of course. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Congratulations. All right. We'll talk to you, everyone else, next time on The Desert Scene.